Everyone has something that they think about at night. That seemingly insignificant time between when your head hits the pillow and when you drift into a deep sleep. Some people replay the day's events, some worry about how they did on their most recent test, and others relive those awkward moments, like when you thought someone was waving at you, only to realize they were waving at the person behind you. But if you're anything like me, you might find yourself lying there restlessly, thinking about that daunting thing we call the future. The future is a strange concept. We can plan it down to every last detail, yet we can never fully control it. Some people avoid thinking about the future altogether, others anticipate it eagerly. Regardless, the future is an inevitable fate that we all have to face. Recently, as I lay in my 6x4 cubicle in Collie House, listening to Mr. Walker gate Malhotra right outside my room, I had a realization. I can't possibly know exactly what lies ahead. At first, this thought scared me because I wanted to control my outcome. But then it hit me. Why worry about something I can't control when I can worry about something I can control? The present moment. Good morning, faculty, esteemed guests, and my fellow students of Appleby College. My name is Dylan Woolstencroft, and today, that very idea, the power of living in the moment, is what I want to explore. As I stand in front of you all in this beautiful chapel, I've been thinking a lot about the importance of living in our moment. See, we just had a moment. It's a simple concept, yet one I've come to appreciate as I begin my final chapter at Appleby. How many of you have said, "I can't wait to grow up"? It's something I'm sure most of us have wished for at some point in our lives, myself included. We all dream about the days when we'll have the freedom and independence to live by our own rules. But here's the problem I'm facing now. After years and years of wanting to grow up, the urgency to move on to the next stage of life has faded. Taking in the start of my grade 12 year, I've realized this moment is special for all of us senior twos. Our one last dance before we go our separate ways. Now, don't get me wrong, the next phase of our lives, be it university, college, or whatever path we choose, will bring exciting opportunities. Nonetheless, while everyone is anticipating what's to come, we risk letting some of our best memories slip by unappreciated if we don't stay present. So while we're all rushing towards the next step in our life, maybe, just maybe, we'll regret not slowing down and appreciating the moments we're living right now. I want to let you in on something I've learned. The value of slowing down and enjoying where you are right now. Slowing down and being present, even in the small things, has shown me how lucky I am to be a part of this community. Appleby is special. When you stop and look around at what you have, you become truly grateful for it, which is why I'm so eager to share this message with all of you. This year, I felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude for the opportunities I've been given. Getting to know all of you upper school students, whether it's chatting in the halls, playing games together in grade band, or laughing at the funny moments we share in council, has left me with more cherished memories than I can count. These experiences have made my year truly special and has shown me the value of living each day to its fullest. Now, I want to share with you how the future has affected me. Having an older sibling was always a reason I wanted to chase the future. While he was off driving, I was stuck hiding my face in the passenger seat with my mother. Don't worry, Mom, I still love driving with you. Sometimes. The cycle repeated. He would go off and do something I couldn't, and it ate at me. When he went to high school, my little grade 7 self couldn't wait to step into his shoes. But now that I'm finally here, at the top of the school in grade 12, it's bittersweet. I'm loving every moment of my senior year, but I can't help thinking that in just half a year, I won't be able to step onto this wonderful campus as a student, but rather as an alumnus. My parents always told me, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And honestly, that never made me feel better when we still had 3 hours left in the car ride, but now I'm starting to understand what they meant. I still remember strolling onto the Appleby campus in grade 9 like it was yesterday. Right from the beginning, I looked forward to grade 12. I wanted to be just like the seniors, and it couldn't come soon enough. Yet, I realize now that I rushed through the journey to get here, missing the value in the day-to-day moments. I feel such nostalgia for the memories I didn't even realize I was creating at the time. One of the greatest things Appleby has to offer is in its traditions. Big or small, goofy or serious, from our lively spirit days to our buyout sports games to community weekends. These moments tether us to each other. Hold these experiences dear to your heart because they're the ones I'll miss the most when this year concludes. One specific moment I still replay in my head was my very first Spirit Day. We all lined up at the Collie Bistro, putting on face paint, screaming our chants, and sprinting down under a cloud of red smoke. While inhaling the dollar store smoke bomb probably took a few years off my life, I wouldn't trade that experience for anything. Even though I was a new student, I quickly realized how special this community truly is. It's moments like these that remind me just how important it is to cherish the present, rather than letting it slip by while focusing on the future. I vividly recall bus rides to away games, playing football at lunch, and even the shenanigans in the AWB washroom. That's a story for another time. These are core memories I'll carry with me, and I just wish I'd taken the time to appreciate them as they happened. We live in a world that pushes us to move faster, achieve more, and always think about the future. Just the other day, a grade 7 student asked me if their 93 average was enough to get into a good university. That kind of pressure is real, and I know it all too well. I would always feel like I had to plan for every scenario and outcome. For years, I lost sleep obsessing where I'd be in 5 or 10 years, terrified of uncertainty. It became unbearable, affecting my performance in sports, school, and in my relationships. I thought if I just planned everything to a T, it would work out. But I realized no amount of planning could erase the unknown. The more I worry about tomorrow, the less I actually live today. That realization pushed me to embrace the present and to stop letting fear of the future steal the moments that matter right now. Yet, the amazing thing about being a student is that we're allowed and even encouraged to make mistakes without the full weight of adult responsibilities. The moments we're living now will shape who we will become, so why rush past them? I'd like to quickly address the younger students in the room. I know many of you can't wait to sit on the S2 side, but you'd be surprised how many seniors would love to trade places with you. Back when what's for lunch was the biggest worry. The simplicity of coming to school every day without the added stress of the grade 12 year is something the graduating class will never get to experience again. So, here's my call to action. Soak in every moment you're here. Think about the memories you're creating around the lunch tables, in the halls, and just being a kid. Don't be in such a hurry to grow up. I'm sure many teachers here would say these years are some of the best times that they still look back on. Go try out that new sport, talk to new people, and please, don't put so much pressure on yourselves. Everyone in this room is a leader of character and will do great things someday. But for now, you're allowed to be silly. Don't stress over losing a few marks on a grade 10 algebra test. Believe me, some S2s would happily swap places with you if it meant a return to simpler classes. And trust me, linear functions are just the beginning. Line gets all wiggly, and honestly, I still don't understand it. Mr. Armstrong, I promise it's not you, it's me. Now, to the graduating class. I hope I haven't made anyone feel like they've wasted their time focusing on the future. Because the best part is, we still have time. Time to be kids, time to make mistakes, and time to make the most of our final year together. It's easy to feel the weight of what comes next. Universities, careers, adulthood, those things will be there for us. We don't need to chase them. Let's make the most of the time we have left, building memories with our friends and appreciating everything that has brought us here. None of us can predict what the future holds, but we can control how we live in the present. Sometimes I picture myself in the future, walking these halls as an alumnus. I see the posters on the walls, the classrooms that once held all my hopes and fears, and I'm hit with the reality that I can't turn down the clock. When you get to the final months, you realize that even when your workload feels impossible, and your biggest decision is whether to power nap or power through, those are the kind of moments you'll miss. Show gratitude while you're still in the midst of it all, and take in the rest of your experience. Because once you've graduated, you can't go back and relive these very days. You can only look back on it. When we all come back to campus in 10, 20, or 50 years, people won't remember you for your grades, your awards, or your accolades. They'll remember how you made them feel and the memories you shared. Build the legacy you want to be remembered by, not in some distant dream, but in the moments you're living right now. And if you don't believe me, just ask Mr. Zukonik. His 100-year class reunion is actually coming up. Now, don't get me wrong. Planning for tomorrow is important. But if you're always looking too far ahead, you risk missing the opportunities right under your nose. You might hold off on stepping out of your comfort zone, waiting for a perfect moment that might never come. Before you know it, the chance has passed, leaving only regret. Even with a roadmap for every scenario, life rarely follows a neat script. Sometimes, the best way to embrace the future is to seize the present, to pull the trigger on the idea you've been hesitating over, no matter how uncertain the outcome may be. I learned this the hard way. Once, a teacher I really admire asked me to share a few kind words for my upper school prefect, Jacob Shadle, during the final grade band of the year. I was too nervous, worried about what people might think if I messed up. Those intrusive doubts kept me off the stage that day. I still regret not taking that special opportunity, because in the end, it's the risks you don't take that you regret the most. If there's one thing I want you to take away from my speech, let it be this quote by George Bernard Shaw. Youth is wasted on the young. It may not sound like much at first, but I hope each of you reflect on it during your time here at Appleby. One day, we'll look back and realize how precious these days truly were, wondering how we could have been so focused on the future that we forgot to savor every moment. I challenge you, pursue your passions, make the most out of every day, and never wait for the future to arrive, because the present is the only place you truly live. I look forward to continuing my journey with all of you throughout the rest of the year. Please join me in singing hymn number 662, and thank you for listening.
with joy and be there forth with peace. The mountains and the hills will break forth before you. There'll be shouts of joy in all the trees of the field. Will clap their hands, and all the trees